Discover the incredible 5-minute journey that will transform your life when you need it most. Every morning, Sarah bolted out of bed before the sun had a chance to rise, fighting against an exhaustion that clung to her like a second skin. Her small apartment, a collection of mismatched furniture and worn-out toys, felt more like a cage than a home. But as she heard the soft, rhythmic breathing of her 7-year-old daughter, Mia, she felt a spark of hope. Mia, with her bright eyes and unruly curls, was magic incarnate. Yet, the fear choked Sarah. How could she give Mia the life she dreamed of? Her first job at the local diner was a lifeline, enveloped in a cozy warmth that starkly contrasted the wintry chill of their financial reality. Laughter and camaraderie greeted her as she filled coffee cups, but the whispers floated around her. Did you hear about Sarah? A single mom with 2 jobs and still can't make ends meet. Imaginary daggers slipped between her ribs with each judgmental comment. It was a small town, and every misstep echoed through the streets like a bell tolling doom. Then there was her father, a retired war veteran who wore his values like medals of honor. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Sarah, he barked during their phone calls, contempt seeping through the line. She felt like a child trying to prove her worth, each conversation a tightrope walk between love and disappointment. You think I haven't tried? You think I want this? She yelled at him one night, the tears streaming down her face like an unrelenting river. It hurt to admit her vulnerability. It hurt more to feel their love suffocating under the weight of unspoken expectations. But just as despair threatened to engulf her, a flyer fluttered to the ground, advertising the annual Maplewood Community Fair as celebration of resilience, a chance to find connection in chaos. For the first time in a long time, hope ignited within her. Maybe this will bring us together, she thought, envisioning the laughter of families, the spirit of unity. Maybe she could share her struggles with others, not as a burden, but as a bridge to understanding. As fair preparation began, Sarah felt a palpable shift. People she'd seen, but hardly interacted with, joined forces, their shared burdens weaving an invisible thread of solidarity. There was strength in numbers. She glanced at their faces, worn but determined. Connection began to simmer, set against the backdrop of her relationship with her father, still teetering on the brink of collapse. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The day of the fair dawned, bright and bustling, but Sarah's heart felt heavy. Would her father see her achievements? Would he recognize the love she poured into every step she took for Mia? She spotted him from a distance, his face a mixture of pride and incredulity as she accepted an award for her dedication to the community. His gaze held uncertainty and unspoken dialogue looming between them. Would the applause from the crowd bridge their rift or deepen it? The tension hung in the air, filled with silent words waiting to be unleashed. This was only the beginning, a prelude to the questions of love, family, and resilience that awaited them both. As Sarah walked off the stage, the claps of the crowd still ringing in her ears, a mixture of pride and anxiety swirled within her. She searched for Mia in the sea of faces, her little girl's laughter like a beacon in the crowded fairgrounds. The sight of her, twirling in a bright pink dress, brought a smile to Sarah's face, but her heart weighed heavy. What if her father's gaze was not only pride, but also disappointment? Mia ran up to her, her small hands gripping Sarah's tightly. "Mom, that was amazing. You were so brave." Her eyes sparkled with admiration that wrapped around Sarah like a warm hug. Yet, a part of Sarah felt disconnected. Brave didn't he seem to fit when doubt still haunted her thoughts. "Thank you, sweetie," Sarah replied, forcing a smile. The joy in Mia's voice was infectious, cutting through the fog of her worries. They wandered through the fair, stopping at booths adorned with local crafts, each a small story in itself. Children squealed as a clown juggled brightly colored balls, and the scent of funnel cakes filled the air, teasing her senses. But amid the merriment, her father's expression lingered in her mind. "Look, a petting zoo!" Mia squealed, dragging Sarah toward the fenced area. The sight of fluffy bunnies and gentle goats drew a genuine laugh from her, a momentary escape from her swirling thoughts. Yet, in the back of her mind, the commentary of her town echoed too. Would they still see her as a failure beneath the achievements she'd fought for? She felt a tap on her shoulder. It was her father, a hesitant smile on his face. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, his voice softer than it had been in their last call. For a moment, Sarah held her breath, unsure what to say. His presence felt heavy with unspoken words, but as she looked at Mia, delight radiating off her like sunshine, she nodded. "Of course, Dad. We were just looking at the animals." They walked together, an unfamiliar silence settling between them. Sarah's heart raced. This was a chance to mend the frayed edges of their relationship, but how? "Sarah," her father started, his gaze fixed ahead, I never wanted you to feel like you weren't enough. You're more than any of my expectations." The vulnerability in his voice surprised her, but the sting of past conversations still echoed in her heart. "I've seen you struggling and it's been hard for me to understand how to help." Tears pricked at her eyes. "I've tried so hard, Dad," she admitted, the words tumbling out in a rush. "I just want to do right by Mia, and I guess I thought you'd always see me as a disappointment," he finished softly. They paused, the air filled with the sounds of joy that seemed distant to Sarah. Her father was taking a step. His eyes were searching hers, seeking connection over years' worth of silence. "Let us not dwell on the past," he said finally, a shaky exhale escaping his lips. "Today isn't about failure. It's about community. It's about you and Mia. I want to understand. I want to be there for you." A wave of gratitude rushed through Sarah. They stood on the edge of something new. Yet, she still felt a need to voice her fears, to lay bare the pain that had been buried inside her heart. "Will you stay, Dad? I need your support. But I also need you to know that I'm learning to stand on my own. It doesn't mean I don't want you here." His expression softened, and he nodded. "I'm ready for that, Sarah. Let us start fresh." As they moved toward the next booth, Sarah felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps they were both learning to navigate this transformation together, one step at a time. But deep down, a question hung heavy. Would this newfound understanding prove strong enough to withstand the trials that lay ahead? Just then, a thunderous cheer erupted nearby, pulling Sarah's focus to a stage where local talent competed for the crowd's applause. Mia pulled at her hand excitedly. "Can we watch, Mom? Please?" Sarah glanced at her father, whose smile mirrored her daughter's infectious excitement. "Yes, let us," she said, her heart fluttering with a mix of joy and apprehension. As the first performer took the stage, she held her breath. What new challenges awaited them in this evolving journey together? As the applause faded for the first performer, Sarah felt a mix of anticipation and tension tightening in her chest. The spotlight illuminated a young man, his fingers dancing over the strings of a guitar, weaving melodies that pierced the air like sparks. Beside her, Mia swayed, absorbed by the joyful rhythm, while Sarah caught glimpses of her father's face transforming, etched with nostalgia and pride. But amid this moment of connection, doubt flickered within Sarah. What if the cheers faded and her father's support wavered? As the song progressed, she shook her head, trying to dispel the pervading sense of dread. She needed to focus on the now, to breathe. Suddenly, the song shifted, the mood turning contemplative. The young man sang about struggles, loss, and finding one's place in the world. Every word sounded like it was plucked from her own journey, the weight of the lyrics pressing down on her. For a moment, the crowd faded. It was just her, Mia, and the voice that seemed to echo her deepest fears. Tears threatened to spill. Next to her, Mia clutched her hand tightly, sensing the shift in atmosphere. "Mom, that's beautiful," she whispered, her eyes wide. The innocence in her voice illuminated a part of Sarah that had dimmed. Sarah smiled through her tears, feeling the warmth of her daughter's affection. "It really is, sweetie." As the performance came to a close, the crowd erupted in applause once more, but Sarah was lost in thought. The connection with the singer, an emotional journey forged through melody, left her pondering her own struggles. She shifted her gaze to her father, who appeared to have been equally moved. There was something healing in sharing this moment, though unspoken, yet so intimate. Do you ever feel like you're just trying to find your way?" Sarah suddenly found herself asking her father. The words tumbled out before she had time to consider their weight. The question hung in the air like a lost balloon. Her father looked thoughtful, the tenderness in his expression palpable. "Every day, Sarah. I've always believed that life would have clear paths, but it often doesn't. We all stumble around trying to make sense of it." Their eyes locked, and in that instant, Sarah felt a deeper connection, a mutual understanding formed in the gaps of their conversations over the years. But instead of joy, a pang of sadness emerged. "I didn't think you felt that way," she admitted, her voice quivering. The tension broke with a gentle nod from her dad. "I've let you carry that alone for too long." Mia wriggled between them, her cheerful spirit reigniting the atmosphere. "Can we get cotton candy now? Please." Her enthusiasm was infectious. Sarah couldn't help but laugh, the sound breaking the serious moment. "All right. Cotton candy it is." As they made their way to the booth, Sarah glanced back at the stage, feeling a flicker of hope. She realized it wasn't all about finding answers directly but navigating the uncertainties together, even through simple joys like cotton candy. But as they approached the booth, an unexpected voice caught through the crowd. "Sarah!" It was Jessie, an old high school friend she hadn't seen in years. Panic shot through her. What would Jessie think of her? As her heart raced, Sarah braced herself. What would this encounter lead her to? Would it be another reminder of her past, or a chance for renewed connection? Life felt ready to twist again, and Sarah couldn't help but wonder, would this moment open a new chapter, or would it force her back into the shadows she was just beginning to escape? "Sarah!" Jessie called again, her voice bubbling with excitement. Sarah turned, every nerve in her body on alert. It had been years since they'd last spoken, and the memories that surfaced were like ghosts in the corner of her mind, both familiar and unsettling. "Jessie," Sarah managed to reply, forcing a smile even as uncertainty swirled in her stomach. As Jessie approached, she could see the same spark in her friend's eyes. Time didn't seem to have dimmed that light. "Wow, it's been forever," Jessie exclaimed, her arms opening wide for an embrace. Sarah hesitated for a fraction of a second, then stepped forward, closing the gap. The hug felt warm and safe, a brief return to the past when everything felt simpler. "I know. How have you been?" Sarah asked, her voice a touch higher than normal, betraying her nerves. "Busy with work, you know how it is. But I got a break, and I thought I'd swing by the festival. It's amazing to see you." Jessie's gaze flickered to Mia, who was tugging at Sarah's hand, eager for her cotton candy. "And this little one, wow," she's grown. Mia beamed, proudly replying, "I'm 7. 7! That's a big deal." Jessie's enthusiasm brought an unexpected warmth to Sarah. Perhaps this wouldn't be so bad after all. Yet, Beneath her friend's cheerful exterior, Sarah sensed a weight. She couldn't shake the feeling that Jessie's cheerful chatter masked something deeper. Perhaps they both had stories to tell. "Hey, can I grab a coffee with you?" "Just us two," Jessie suggested, and Sarah's heart raced. A chance to talk privately could be both a gift and a burden. Would it bring back memories she wasn't ready to face? "Sure," she replied reluctantly, glancing at her father. He gave her an encouraging nod, mouthing "Go ahead." He understood, perhaps more than Sarah herself did. As they stepped away from the crowd, Sarah felt the chatter and music fade into the background. Having Jessie back in her life felt like a double-edged sword. Moments of laughter and puzzle pieces from the past could be liberating, yet they also reminded Sarah of her own insecurities. "What has been happening with you?" Jessie asked, peering at Sarah with genuine curiosity. "Just been working a lot, focusing on Mia juggling, you know," Sarah answered, trying to keep her tone light. Jessie nodded knowingly. "That can't be easy. I'm proud of you. You seem happy." "Yeah, I'm getting there," Sarah admitted, wishing she sounded more convincing. It was a struggle to convey the layers of her journey. "Do you ever miss it? You know, the music, the dreams?" Jessie's eyes sparkled with nostalgia, and Sarah froze. It was an echo of a life she once dreamed of before fear and doubt stifled her ambitions. "Sometimes," Sarah finally confessed, her voice barely a whisper, "I wonder if I let the best parts of me slip away." Jessie looked at her, and for a heartbeat, the world around them dimmed. "You haven't. You've just been on a different path." Sarah felt tension ease a bit, but doubt clawed at her heart. Could Jessie understand? Was it truly just a different path, or had she taken a wrong turn? Just then Mia, unable to contain her excitement, dashed over, a fluffy pink cloud of cotton candy in hand. "Mom! Look!" Sarah's heart swelled again. "Wow! That looks amazing!" Jessie exclaimed, and for a moment, laughter filled the air. Yet, between bites of sugary softness, Sarah caught Jessie's gaze flicker back to her with an intensity that suggested unspoken truths. "Can we grab that coffee now?" Jessie finally asked, her tone more serious. In that moment, Sarah realized the encounter wasn't just a fleeting reunion. It could shift everything for both of them. The uncertainty of what was next for her loomed larger than before. What would come of this conversation? Would it lead to healing or deeper confusion? As Sarah took a deep breath, she felt a blend of hope and fear. This was just the beginning, and the path ahead was still unknown. But maybe, just maybe, Sarah thought, it was time to confront the shadows and step back into the light. As they walked toward a small cafe tucked away from the festival's chaotic energy, Sarah could feel her heart racing. The scent of coffee wafted through the air, grounding her in the moment, yet her mind buzzed with apprehension. Sitting down at a small table outside, surrounded by vibrant flowers, Sarah tried to focus on Jessie. "So what is really on your mind?" she asked, her tone casual, but her eyes probing. Jessie took a long sip of her coffee, clearly savoring the moment as if it were something rare. "I suppose I'm just curious. You've always been passionate about music, and seeing it here," she gestured to the festival nearby, filled with laughter and music. "I thought maybe it would have drawn you back in somehow." Sarah's stomach twisted at the thought. Memories of late-night jam sessions, laughter shared over forgotten lyrics, and dreams of performing flooded her mind like a tidal wave. "I do miss it," she admitted, her voice barely audible amidst the festival sounds. "But life, it just kind of got in the way." "Life has a way of complicating things, doesn't it?" Jessie replied, her expression shifting to one of understanding. "But maybe that's not all bad. Maybe it's given you new music to write." There was a depth in Jessie's gaze that made Sarah wonder if her friend had also felt the heaviness of unfulfilled dreams. Sarah hesitated, trapped in the moment. Do you have regrets? She asked suddenly, the weight of her own fears spilling over. About not chasing what you love. Jessie looked taken aback for a moment, her eyes widening slightly before she composed herself. I think we all have our regrets, Sarah. But I've learned it can also teach us. It pushed me to find my own voice, even if it's not what I thought it would be. Like your job? Sarah tilted her head, genuinely interested but still holding on to threads of uncertainty. Yeah, like this job. It's not music, but it's meaningful. Jessie's hands moved animatedly. And it provides. But I still go to open mics, you know? I sing for the love of it, not for the fame. I keep my passion alive in other ways. A flicker of admiration sparked in Sarah's chest. She wanted that sense of fulfillment. I always thought I had to have it all or nothing. Perform or not at all. You're not alone in feeling that way. It's just a choice, Jessie said, her tone softer now. You can create a life that includes the things you love without giving everything else up. A thought began to form in Sarah's mind. What if she could? What if she didn't have to choose between being a mother and nurturing her passion for music? The idea sparked something within her, the same thrill she felt under the stage lights. Maybe I could look at it differently, Sarah said, her heart pounding with renewed hope. Exactly. It's about finding your rhythm again. Don't let fear hold you back. Jessie leaned forward, her enthusiasm infectious. You should come with me to an open mic night next week. Just for fun. An open mic? Sarah's voice trembled with trepidation and excitement. It felt both terrifying and exhilarating. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Jessie smiled, the kind of smile that felt like a warm hug. You've already got a whole audience waiting at home. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real. Mia dashed back to their table, bringing a fresh breeze of joy with her. Did you talk about music? She asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. Jessie chuckled lightly. We did, and it sounds like your mom might be singing again. Really? Mia's face lit up. Can I come to watch? A wave of emotion washed over Sarah at the thought of her daughter cheering for her, believing in her. Maybe, just maybe, Sarah said, her heart wanting to fly. But then, deep inside, doubts lurked. Was she strong enough to embrace this? As they finished their coffee, Sarah felt a shift within her. The tension she carried began to dissolve. Whatever lay ahead promised a mixture of fear and excitement. Yet as they stood to leave, Jessie's expression turned serious. Just remember, even if you stumble, it's still worth it. You'll be writing your own story. Sarah felt the weight of those words. The possibilities hung in the air, fresh and vibrant. What if she could venture onto that stage again? As they headed back toward the festival, the tunes wrapped around them like a familiar embrace. Determination ignited within her. But could she truly face the music, confronting the shadows of her past while stepping into her potential? Would she be brave enough to take that step? The night ahead held unknown challenges, and Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that her journey was just beginning. The sun dipped lower in the sky as they merged back into the festival's glowing heart, buzzing with life. Sarah felt the buzz awaken something dormant within her, a flicker of the girl who once held a microphone in her hand, singing her heart out. Yet, doubts slipped back in like shadows. Do you think I could really do it? She asked Jessie softly, her vulnerability matching the dusky ambience around them. Jessie paused, her scrutiny warming, as if she could see right into Sarah's soul. Absolutely, I do. You've got this fire in you. You just need to let it shine. Jess's voice was steady, encouraging, and Sarah felt an unexpected swell of confidence rise up. But fear still nestled in her chest, cold and heavy. What if I forget the lyrics? What if nobody likes me? The what if spiraled, threatening to pull her under. That's the beauty of it, Jessie replied with a playful nudge. If you forget the lyrics, just make them up. And as for people liking you, those who matter will. Just be you. Mia tugged at Sarah's jeans, breaking her from the whirlpool of anxiety. Can I be your biggest fan, Mommy? She chirped, her eyes sparkling with innocent belief. Tears pricked Sarah's eyes. What if she really stepped onto that stage? Wouldn't it be incredible for Mia to see her mom chase a dream? I'll think about it, she said, her voice a mixture of hope and uncertainty. Her heart was still 2 parts scared, 1 part excited. As the trio wandered past stalls and performers, scenes of familiar euphoria and creative energy surrounded them. The rhythm of the drums, the strum of guitars, and snippets of laughter filled the air and wrapped around Sarah like a warm embrace. Each note seemed to pull her closer to her old self, the one who felt alive in the music. Hey, look at that! Jessie exclaimed, pointing toward a small stage where a group was putting on an acoustic set. Let us listen for a minute. They drew closer, the crowd thickening, but Sarah felt an odd sense of ease wash over her. Watching the performers, she saw their joy. Every strum, every note, flowed like water. They looked so free, Sarah whispered, her heart racing in synchronicity with the beat of the music. Jessie leaned in, her breath warm against Sarah's ear. They are, and you can be too. The band played a song that struck a deep chord within Sarah, the lyrics spilling emotions she had kept tucked away. She felt her pulse quicken with every note. Can you feel it? Jessie asked, her eyes alight with understanding. That's what it's about. The connection. It's beautiful, Sarah managed, her breath hitching with the weight of nostalgia. It was a reminder of everything she loved, but had abandoned in the name of practicality. A tide of longing surged. What if she could get back in touch with that passion? But as the song ended, applause thundered around her. The moment felt bittersweet, as if an invisible wall was still between her and that stage she craved to step onto again. Mia's small hand slipped into hers. Can I sing like that one day? She asked, the innocence in her voice cutting through Sarah's thoughts. Of course, sweetie, Sarah said, managing a smile. You'll be amazing. Yet her heart thudded with conflicting emotions. Could she really take her daughter's dreams seriously when she wasn't even sure about her own? Feeling the crowd pulse around her, a real battle raged inside her. The thrill of possibility wove itself into the fear of stepping back into the spotlight. As they left the stage area, Sarah hesitated for a moment, scanning the audience. She had always wanted to perform, to share joy through music, but now it felt like the stakes were higher. This was no longer just about her, it was about Mia witnessing her mom stepping out of her comfort zone. What if she was taking her first step back into that light? Determined to shake off her lingering doubts, Sarah made up her mind. She would go to the open mic. But with the decision came another question: would courage and vulnerability dance together on that stage? Or would fear dim her light before it ever shone? As they moved through the festival, the energy buzzed brighter with each passing moment, the air thick with anticipation. Sarah felt it a spark, severe and warm, as if destiny was nudging her closer to something transformative. When Sarah finally turned at the stage to look back one last time, a voice inside whispered this might just change everything. With the sun now a fiery orange ball on the horizon, Sarah's heart raced as she walked through the thrumming festival. Jessie, ever the beacon of motivation, moved confidently ahead, while Mia peered curiously at each stall. Sarah could feel the beating of drums echo through the air, punctuated by laughter and shouts. Each step was heavy with the weight of her decision. The open mic awaited. As they passed a booth selling colorful, handmade bracelets, Mia tugged on Sarah's sleeve, turning her wide, innocent eyes upward. Mommy, can we get one? Of course. Sarah smiled, momentarily distracted by her daughter's excitement. While Jess helped Mia choose, Sarah's mind drifted again to the stage. What if she choked? What if the audience was dismissive? Here you go, Jessie chirped, handing Mia a bright blue bracelet that shimmered in the fading light. It's perfect. Mia twirled around, her laughter infectious. Now I can cheer for you in style. The little girl's unabashed belief cut through Sarah's anxieties like a knife. She knelt, meeting Mia's radiant gaze. What if I told you I'm going to sing tonight? Mia's eyes widened. Really? Like for real? You'll be the best. Sarah's heart swelled at her daughter's enthusiasm, but in the same breath, the familiar knot of fear gripped her again. Let us go, girl, it's almost time, Jessie urged, her determination unwavering. Underneath the bright carnival lights, Sarah moved closer to the open mic area. The sounds of the festival faded slightly, replaced by the steady rhythm of her heartbeat. She spotted the mic stand and the wooden stage, simple yet daunting. Was she really going to do this? Look at all those people, she mumbled to herself, anxiety creeping in, but Jessie's hand on her shoulder provided a grounding weight. Remember why you want to, she said softly, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. Why I want to, Sarah echoed, thinking about the purpose behind her desire. The laughter of Mia, the freedom of her youth, the passion that had burned so brightly in her. Each memory sparked hope within her, pushing back against the shadows of fear. As the final acts of the night performed, she watched shine and passion fill the air. Just like the performers, she could feel the connection with the audience. Faces lit up by the flicker of excitement, people moved with the rhythm together in the same moment. Finally it happened. An emotional young woman stepped off the stage, leaving behind an echo of applause. The host called out, "And who's next?" The crowd cheered, and Sarah's heart pounded. "It's now or never," she breathed. With Mia's small fingers interlaced with hers, for reassurance, she approached the mic. A hush fell over the crowd as she stepped up. The spotlight felt blinding, but it also felt warm, a rush of light enveloping her. "Hold my hand, Mommy," Mia shouted from the front, her voice laced with pure belief and love. Suddenly, everything sharp turned soft. The weight of the spotlight shifted into something lighter. Here she was not just a woman, but a mother ready to reclaim her music, her passion. As Sarah took the mic, something beautiful transformed within her. Her breath steadied, the fear began to dissipate, replaced with the hope that had ignited within. "Hi, everyone," her voice rang out, the nervousness slipping away like water off a duck's back. Then, with just a nod from Mia and Jessie's beaming smile in the crowd, she began to sing. And as the first note escaped her lips, she wondered, could this be the moment everything changed? Would her voice echo hope and inspiration, not just for her, but for Mia? With each word resonating in the open air, she felt lighter. Could this be the breakthrough she needed, or the start of a whole new journey? The melody flowed from her like a river, smooth and bright. Sarah took a breath, filling her lungs with the sweet air of creativity. Each note painted pictures in her mind, memories flashing by like fireflies in the twilight. As she sang, she felt her worries unravel, the doubts that had haunted her for so long beginning to fade away. The crowd was still, captivated. She could see their faces, curiosity giving way to wonder as her voice wrapped around them. Each lyric felt like a piece of herself, a bit of the old Sarah that she thought had been lost forever. "Go, Mommy," Mia cheered, her voice standing out among the whispers. The joy in Mia's face lit a fire inside Sarah's chest, propelling her forward. She added more energy to her song, letting the vibrant rhythm guide her, feeling the rush of excitement blend with the thrill of vulnerability. The spotlight felt like love. It wasn't so much blinding as it was cleansing. She no longer felt like an imposter standing on that stage, but rather a warrior reclaiming her throne. With every chord, she found more of herself, the artist who had once sung freely, without fear. As she reached the chorus, the audience began to sway, the rhythm infectious. Hands clapped, feet tapped, and soon they were all part of the performance. A heartbeat shared. Sarah's voice soared, her insecurities drowned out by the enthusiasm of the crowd. She smiled, allowing her spirit to embrace their energy. It was as if the entire universe had aligned in that moment, validating her journey, her struggles, and the bond she shared with Mia. When the last note faded and the silence returned, she held her breath. Then, the applause erupted like a volcano, a wave of sound crashing over her. A surge of emotion swelled in her chest, and she met Mia's proud gaze. "You did it," Mia squealed, bouncing on her tiny toes. Jessie rushed forward, her excitement bubbling over. "Sarah, that was incredible. You were amazing." Tears stung Sarah's eyes, a mix of elation and disbelief. She had done it. Against every fear, every negative thought, she had stepped up to the mic and reclaimed her voice. But as the cheers began to die down, a question gnawed at her: would this feeling last? Would she have the courage to keep singing, not just on stage but in her daily life, to let music open doors she hadn't dared to knock on before? The host clapped her shoulder and gestured for her to take a bow. "You've all heard our wonderful Sarah. Remember this name." The crowd cheered again, but amid the joy, a flicker of uncertainty remained. The thrill of performance stirred something deeper, an urge to explore what this could mean for her future. What other parts of herself had she locked away, waiting for the right moment to break free? As Sarah stepped off the stage, overcoming the limelight's afterglow, a whisper brushed against her ear, tinged with the essence of possibility. Maybe this was just the beginning, an invitation to uncover the depths of her own soul. But what would that mean for her and Mia? In that moment of realization, she turned to Jessie and Mia, her heart racing with hope and vulnerability. What is next for us? And just like that, a new chapter began to unfold before her, full of potential, uncertainty, and the promise of transformation. The excitement in the room buzzed like electricity, flowing through Sarah as she stepped off the stage. Her hands trembled slightly from the rush, but her heart sang louder than any applause. Jessie continued to chatter, her words a warm blanket wrapping around Sarah's newfound courage. "You should do this more often. You're a natural," Jessie said, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "But what if I can't replicate this feeling?" Sarah replied, her voice shaky as she looked down at her old sneakers. "What if it was just a fluke?" Mia tugged at Sarah's sleeve, pulling her attention down to her glowing face. Her daughter's eyes were wide with admiration. "Mommy, you were the best. You made everyone happy." A surge of warmth washed over Sarah. It felt good to be appreciated, to be celebrated not just as a mother, but as an artist. Yet, the small voice of doubt still echoed in the back of her mind. What if it all came crashing down? "Mommy, can we sing together now?" Mia's request sparkled with innocence. Sarah's heart melted. "Of course. Let us make it our own little concert." She squeezed Mia's hand, reveling in this moment, cherishing the simple joy of being together. They found a quiet corner backstage, the cheers and laughter of the crowd fading into a gentle hum. Sarah took a deep breath, allowing the remnants of her performance to settle within her. As they began to sing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," Mia's voice intertwined with hers, clear and sweet. In that simple act, Sarah felt a connection, a reminder of why she had wanted to sing in the first place. Not just for the applause, but for moments like this, filled with warmth and love. But as the last note lingered in the air, a flicker of doubt returned. What if Mia began to expect the spotlight? What if she sought validation the way Sarah had, always seeking approval from an audience? The weight of that thought crushed against Sarah's chest. "Mommy?" Mia asked, tilting her head in that curious way only a child could. "What makes you happy when you sing?" Sarah paused, momentarily caught off guard by the question. It's the way it makes me feel free," she explained softly. "Like I can be anyone I want to be. Like I'm flying." Mia's brows furrowed, deep in thought. "Then we should do it together all the time." A slow smile crept across Sarah's face as she realized the truth in Mia's simplicity. This wasn't just about performing or feeling lost in the chaos of public approval. This was about the joy of being heard and sharing that joy with someone she loved. "So you think we should have our little concerts at home?" Sarah asked, her heart swelling with excitement at the idea. "Yeah, just us," Mia squealed, bouncing up and down. As they hugged tightly, Sarah felt a fire rekindling in her chest. The fears that had threatened to engulf her began to lift. This was a journey, not just for her, but for Mia too, an opportunity to explore music together, away from the stage. In the corner of her mind, a new question emerged. What adventures awaited them now as a duo, with songs only they understood? But just then, a voice interrupted her thoughts. It was Jessie, her face flushed from excitement. "Sarah, you want to believe who is here to meet you." Instinctively, Sarah's heart raced again. Who could it be? Would the potential that was sparking inside her get a chance to shine even brighter? A wave of anticipation washed over her, and all the possibilities began to swirl like a tornado in her mind. What awaited them on this new path would determine everything. As the energy of the festival swirled around her, Sarah felt a rush of gratitude for this moment, one where she was not just a mother, but an artist reclaiming her voice. She turned to Jessie, her heart still beating with the echoes of applause. "Who is it?" Her curiosity mingled with a renewed sense of purpose, urging her to step forward into this new chapter. Jessie gestured animatedly, her excitement tangible. "It's someone who could help you take your music further. A local producer who scouts for talent." Sarah's pulse quickened, a swirl of emotions flooding her. Could this truly be an opportunity to share her music with a broader audience? But a hint of doubt crept in. What if she wasn't good enough? What if it was just another way to fall short? Mia, sensing her mother's hesitation, chimed in. "Mommy, you were amazing on stage. You can do it." Her sweet voice uplifted Sarah's spirits, a reminder that this journey was about more than just her. It was about hope, connection, and the magic they could share together. With a deep breath, Sarah nodded. "Okay, let us meet him." She followed Jessie through the bustling crowd, her heart both fluttering and steadying. Each step toward the unknown felt like a brave leap into an adventure that could change everything. When they found the producer, a kind man with curly hair and an easy smile, Sarah was surprised to find him welcoming. "I caught your performance," he said with genuine enthusiasm. "You have something special. Your voice speaks volumes." Sarah felt her cheeks flush with gratitude, her earlier self-doubt pausing. "Thank you. I don't know if I can." "Why not?" he asked gently. "You've already come so far. Music is about expressing who you are. No need for perfection, just authenticity." Those words hit home deeply. Sarah realized that even amid her fears, she was already on her way to finding her voice again. "I'd love to explore that more," she replied, her spirit lifting with optimism. As they exchanged contact information, Sarah felt a spark of urgency run through her, a kindling of dreams reigniting. This wasn't just about stage lights or applause anymore. This was about a chance for her and Mia to share their love for music and creativity together. Once more, Mia's hand found Sarah's, and together they stepped towards a world filled with potential. Jessie, with her infectious energy, walked alongside them, enthusiasm unbridled. Sarah felt a realization settling into her heart. It was possible to chase dreams and nurture the love she had for her daughter at the same time. Later that evening, as the festival began to wind down, Sarah sat on a bench with Mia, watching colorful fireworks illuminate the night sky. Each burst felt like a celebration not just of the festival, but of their journey, a journey that would weave music, love, and laughter into the tapestry of their lives. Mama, let us always sing together, okay? Mia's innocent words echoed like a promise, igniting a fire within Sarah. Always, she replied, squeezing her daughter's hand tightly, tears of joy welling in her eyes. As the last of the fireworks faded into the night, Sarah felt the weight lift from her shoulders. She had not only dared to reclaim her voice, but had also opened a door for a shared journey with Mia. Their combined hopes echoed in her heart like a beautiful harmony, filled with potential. The pulse of transformation thrummed powerfully within her. With each step toward whatever lay ahead, through uncertainty and joy, she felt ready to embrace it all. It was time to not just find her voice, but to let it soar with her daughter by her side. And in that moment, suffused with hope, Sarah realized they were both growing, even transforming together, step by step, note by note. Sarah took a deep breath and smiled, her heart buoyed by the path unfolding before them. What do you say we start writing songs together? Mia's face lit up with a grin. Yes, yes, yes. She cheered, her laughter sparkling against the backdrop of the now tranquil festival grounds. Together, they stepped up to their new adventure, ready to embrace the rhythm of their intertwined lives. Because this was more than just music, this was a journey, a story, a relationship filled with love, laughter, and joy. What now? The world awaited, and the thrill of possibility was alive in every breath. Don't wait, not even one more second. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel, so you won't miss our next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Your support makes all the difference. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this ending. And most importantly, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. True fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Let's keep this journey going.